In a small colonial town nestled between rolling green hills and a restless harbor, the people lived under the distant shadow of a mighty empire. For years they had called themselves loyal subjects, proud to be part of the greatest kingdom on earth. But as time went on, something began to stir, a quiet unease like thunder grumbling far away. Old Mr. Adams, the blacksmith, was the first to grumble openly. "Why," he would ask, pounding his hammer against the anvil, "should we pay taxes to a king who's never walked these streets, nor felt the heat of our forges?" It began with taxes. The empire, burdened by debts from faraway wars, decided that its colonies should help pay the bill. First came the Stamp Act, which required a royal seal on every newspaper, document, and deck of cards. Then the tea tax, forcing colonists to buy only from the empire's ships and merchants. At first, the people tried to reason. They sent letters, petitions, words instead of weapons. But across the ocean their cries were ignored. Parliament believed the colonies were children, too small to understand governance. That insult stung deeper than the taxes themselves. The young schoolteacher, Miss Clark, began reading pamphlets aloud in her classroom, pamphlets by men with fiery pens who wrote about liberty, natural rights, and the dignity of self-rule. Words like freedom and independence danced through the minds of farmers, dock workers, and merchants alike. Then came the soldiers, red-coated and stiff-backed, marching through the cobblestone streets. Their presence was a constant reminder that this land, though worked by colonial hands, belonged to someone else. Arguments in taverns grew louder, insults turned to stones, stones turned to shots. And one cold night in Boston, when the snow fell thick and silent, those shots claimed their first victims. The people called it a massacre. Still, the empire did not listen. In protest, patriots met in secret halls and candlelit barns. They poured tea into the harbor, they swore oaths, they printed broadsides that read, "No taxation without representation." The king's response was harsh: more soldiers, more restrictions, more punishment. But the people had changed. What once was murmuring discontent had become a roaring conviction that they were not subjects but citizens, and that freedom was not a gift from a throne, but a right written in the heart of every human being. So when the time came and the first musket cracked across the dawn at Lexington, the revolution was not born in that instant. It had been growing for years, fueled by unfair laws, distant rulers, ignored voices, and the burning belief that liberty is worth the fight.